And on the women's side, this is a big week as far as Olympic selection finalized on Sunday will be finalized at the conclusion of this event. Nelly Korda is a lock. She's expected to defend her gold medal from Tokyo. Lilia Vu, also comfortably in second, will be on the team. Zhang on the right side of that dividing line. You see the cutoff there. 4 players from the U.S. can get in if they're inside the top 15 in the Rolex rankings. So a good showing this week by any of those names could vault them up the standings and into position to compete in Paris. And for more, let's head out to Amy Rogers.
Thanks so much, Kira. Well, Alison Lee, as you saw there, is in the hunt trying to qualify for the first time for the Olympic Games. And she said she is not the only one with the Olympics on her mind this week as qualifying ends here on Sunday. Now, the U.S. will be eligible to send 4 players that are ranked inside the top 15 in the Rolex rankings at the end of this week. There's currently 3 players, with Alison Lee on the outside looking in. She's currently at 18 in the Rolex rankings, with Ally Ewing sitting just behind her at number 19. Now, both of these players would need a strong finish here this week in order to jump inside the top 15 in the Rolex rankings and on to Team USA. Ewing has largely played her way into this conversation just over these last few weeks with top 5 finishes in her last 2 starts. And she told me today that really the Olympics haven't been a big motivator for her over these past few weeks. But if she can make that team, it will just be a byproduct of her recent great play.
For me, it's just like any other thing. It's a byproduct of a good week, a good year, multiple years. So for me, I tee it up this week with a game plan that, I stick to. I have a formula that I know has given me proven success. So, I'm going to tackle the golf course today, get a good game plan, just how I attack each week. And then if the Olympics are a byproduct of a good week, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. What would it mean to you to be able to compete in the Olympics and represent the United States? Yeah,
I think anytime you get to represent your country, as I have in the Solheim Cup, it's really special to put on the American flag, wear the red, white, and blue. So, it would mean a whole lot to me for another opportunity to represent your country. Anytime I get to do that, it's an honor and a privilege.
I've been paying pretty close attention, probably a little too close. But yeah, I'm going to need a really good week this week if I want to give it a little run and give it a little push to try and make it into the Olympics. I think I'm going to need like a top 5 finish or better or something like that. But yeah, I'm just going to try and control what I can control. I feel like I had a good week last week. I feel like my game's in a really good place. Just made a few dumb mistakes last week, so hopefully I can try and avoid those. It's a major week, so mistakes are going to happen, bad shots are going to happen. It's just a matter of how I'm going to play the next shot, I guess. And so hopefully this week I can just play really smart, play really patient, not worry too much about the leaderboard. I know I'm saying that now, but I will be worrying about it a lot. But yeah, just doing my best to play as best as I can, not put too much pressure on anything, just try and have fun out there. I really love this golf course. I played here when we had the KPMG here last, and I think it's a really good course. Definitely going to take some really, really good golf this week to win or to be in contention. So really excited for the week. Going to try not to think about the Olympics too much. Obviously, it's a dream of mine, and I'm sure it's everyone's dream, all the girls who are in contention trying to represent the U.S. So, yeah, I'm not going to think about it too much and just try and enjoy the week.
Well, Lee and Ewing will both be chasing a spot on Team USA. All eyes will likely be on Megan Kang. She is also chasing a spot. She comes into the week at number 16 in the Rolex rankings, needing to move up just a single spot in order to make her way on to Team USA. Now, she finished tied for second at the ShopRite LPGA Classic 2 weeks ago, but that was not enough to move up the standings. And I had the chance to speak with Megan Kang this afternoon off camera about the prospect of making it onto her first Olympic team. And she told me that she thought about it way too much early in this season, made it almost too much of a priority. She told me that she currently has no idea where she sits in the standings coming into this week. She is aware that Alison Lee and Ally Ewing are closely ranked to her, but is unaware of what she needs to do or where she sits coming into this weekend. Now, she said it's not just out here on tour that she's been getting asked about the Olympics, but it's happening a lot at home as well. Friends and family asking what she needs to do. And she said she's tried to explain to them the qualifying and how it works, but has really just hoped that everyone would stop asking. She told me that she's loved watching the Olympics growing up. The gymnastics was always her favorite sport to watch. And then as she's watched her friends and people that she's known and grown up alongside, like Lydia Ko, win medals throughout the years, she said she's felt, quote, she's wondered to herself, quote, why not me? Especially as she's seen friends like Nelly Korda, Brooke Henderson, and Lexi Thompson compete in these games year after year. Kang told me she's going to try and think about the Olympics as little as possible this week, but she did admit to me if she does not qualify and make that team, she said it's definitely going to hurt. Kira?
All right, Amy, thank you. Of course, that would be a major disappointment for Megan Kang and all those that are on the outside looking in currently, because they so want to be on that team. That's why all their friends and family are asking them about it, because, you know, to get to be an Olympian, it's such a rare and wonderful thing. Beth Ann, as you've gotten to know the Olympics over the last few games where golfers have gotten to participate, how has the Olympic opportunity changed in the minds of the players out here when you discuss the opportunity to represent your country and go to the Olympics as a golfer?
Well, I think on the LPGA, it's been a big deal right from the start. You know, I don't think, you know, there was really any question about whether or not, you know, you were going to skip the Olympics, except for health reasons, you know, along the way. But for the most part, you know, everyone couldn't wait to get there and realize, especially for international players, what it meant to them to win a medal in their home countries. You know, in the U.S., you know, unless you're winning medals in bunches like a Katie Ledecky or Michael Phelps, we don't know all the gold medal winners by name. But in a country like Thailand or a country like Japan, they know everybody that wins a gold medal. So, you know, and I look at the Japan race right now and what's going on right there. We've talked a lot about America, but what's happening in Japan? Yuka Sasso, of course, winning the U.S. Women's Open. She vaulted into the number 6 in the world, and she gets that top place right there for Japan. And then that passed Nasa Hataoka. We've got a tight race here with Ayaka Fudaway at 20, at 21 in the world, Nasa Hataoka 21, and Miyu Yamashita at 22. And with Nasa Hataoka, she was in there in that kind of secure spot for the number 2 position until she had a DQ from the ShopRite LPGA Classic, which was rather shocking. She had that lost ball situation. They found the ball, but then officials later determined that she took too long searching for the ball, and so she ended up ultimately playing from a wrong position and got disqualified the next day. And she actually just put out a really long memo saying how she'd like to see the rules of golf change to address this situation. But, you know, it's really tough right there for that second position. Of course, you know, it's possible that we could have 2 of those players vault into the top 15, and Japan could have 3 players represented. There are a ton of points up. There's 100 points for the winner this week for a major championship. Just to put that in perspective, the winner of the ShopRite earned only 26 points. So it's double, sometimes triple the number of points this week that are on offer at a major.
Well, and I think one of the reasons that it means, you know, so much and it puts extra pressure. The Olympics is something that, whether you're a golf fan or not, almost everyone understands. You understand the Olympics. You know, you might not understand the Solheim Cup. You might not, you know, as someone who isn't a golfer might not know what it means to be on a Solheim Cup. You kind of have to know the ins and outs of what, you know, what the team is comprised of, but you know what it means to be an Olympian. And you see that is, you know, probably why Megan Kang says she's starting to get tired of friends and family asking her, because they understand what it means to be on an Olympic team. And when you look at someone like Lexi Thompson or Lydia Ko, it means so much to them they got tattoos of the Olympic rings, because that's, you know, deep down. It is so important, and it will add a layer of pressure when it is, you know, time to tee it up. Not only is it a major, but a chance for those players like on Japan or the United States team, like Megan Kang, just on the outside, that there's just that little extra boost to get them to achieve a dream, whether you're playing, you know, in your gymnastics or swimming or golf now. You know, it can be something that children grow up saying, I can be an Olympian.
Yeah, and speaking of the tattooed, Ricky Fowler, of course, has an Olympic tattoo. And if you're watching swimming trials, those are on tonight. Every single swimmer that is going to be competing at swimming trials tonight and this weekend that has been to the Olympics, they all have a tattoo, no matter what. And you know, Bobby Fink, when he qualified for the Olympic team in Tokyo, in his interview, the first thing he said was, "I'm getting an Olympic tattoo," because that's just, it means so much, of course, to every single athlete, not just the golfers.